In my younger and more vulnerable years, my father gave me some advice that I've been turning over in my mind ever since. Whenever you feel like criticizing anyone, he told me, just remember that all of the people in this world haven't had the opportunities that you've had. He didn't say any more, but we have always been unusually communicative in a reserved way. And I understood that he meant a great deal more than that. In consequence, I'm inclined to reserve all judgments, a habit that has opened up many curious natures to me, and also made me the victim of not a few veteran bores. The abnormal mind is quick to detect and attach itself to this quality when it appears in a person. And so, it came about that in college, I was unjustly accused of being a great politician because I was privy to the secret griefs of wild, unknown men. Most of the confidence were unsought. Frequently, I have feigned sleep, preoccupation, or a hostile levity when I realized by some unmistakable sign that an intimate revelation was quivering on the horizon. For the intimate revelations of young men, or at least the terms in which they express them, are usually plagiaristic and marred by obvious suppressions. Reserving judgments is a matter of infinite hope. I'm still a little afraid of missing something if I forget that. As my father snobbishly suggested, and I snobbishly repeat, a sense of the fundamental decencies is parceled out unequally at birth. Only Gatsby, the man who gives his name to this book, was exempt from my reaction. Gatsby, who represented everything for which I have unaffected scorn. If personality is an unbroken series of successful gestures, then there was something gorgeous about him. Some heightened sensitivity to the promises of life. As if we were related to one of those intricate machines that register earthquakes 10,000 miles away. And guess who's back with a new video? And yes, what a way to end this BookTube journey yet again with an extract from a genre we haven't yet explored. Tragedy novels. And this tragedy novel regarding the American dream of a perfect life is gonna leave you shocked with its end. Yes, it's me, Prithu Chandala, the co-founder of BookTube, back after a long time. I hope you're up to date with the socials. The links will be up on your screen now, and also the video description. And I hope you guys are following us through this. Now let's move on to the second extract from the book. After 2 years, I remember the rest of that day, and that night, and the next day. Only as an endless trail of police and photographers, and newspaper men in and out of Gatsby's front door. A rope stretched across the main gate, and a policeman by it kept out the curious but little boys, soon discovered that they could enter through my yard, and there were always a few of them clustered open-mouthed about the pool. Someone with a positive manner, perhaps a detective, used the expression madman as he bent over Wilson's body that afternoon. And the adventitious authority of his voice set the key for the newspaper reports next morning. Most of those reports were a nightmare, grotesque, circumstantial, eager, and untrue. When Michaelis's testimony at the inquest brought to light Wilson's suspicions of his wife, I thought the whole tale would shortly be served up in racy pasquinade. But Catherine, who might have said anything, didn't say a word. She showed a surprising amount of character about it too. Looked at the coroner with determined eyes under that corrected brow of hers, and swore that her sister had never seen Gatsby. That her sister was completely happy with her husband. That her sister had been into no mischief whatever. She convinced herself of it and cried into her handkerchief, as if the very suggestion was more than she could endure. So Wilson was reduced to a man deranged by grief, in order that the case might remain in its simplest form. And it rested there. And we come to an end of the session, a tragedy at the very end. The book, though, is none other than The Great Gatsby, the third novel by F. Scott Fitzgerald, published in 1925 by Charles Scribner's Sons. Set in Jazz Age New York, the novel tells the tragic story of Jay Gatsby, a self made millionaire, and his pursuit of Daisy Buchanan, a wealthy young woman whom he loved in his youth. Unsuccessful upon publication, the book is now considered a classic of American fiction and has often been called the Great American Novel. Adapted into a movie too, now available on Netflix, starring Leonardo DiCaprio and Tobey Maguire in the roles of Gatsby and Nick, the narrator, respectively, and has been considered one of the finest pieces of literature. Available for a price of 300 rupees on Amazon.in. This book is a definite read. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And it's free of cost, and you can always change your mind. And keep commenting so that we know that we are on the same page as you. And thank you for sticking with me. It's been a long time, but yes, we'll be more consistent with uploads. Stay tuned and keep enjoying books. A happy weekend ahead from my side. Cheers and namaste.